Hi, my name is Paige Gardner and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a doctoral candidate in the higher education program and also work here at Loyola full-time as an assistant dean for care services that support undergraduates and graduate students. So if you ever need support, I'm your girl. In terms of this opportunity, I really appreciate Doctora for asking me to talk to you all about PhotoVoice and how to utilize it in your research. This is one of my favorite ways to conduct research, as I've found it to be empowering, agentic, and collaborative in nature. And so I was one of those people who didn't think that I could do research. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think that doing research that centered on my personal identities would be seen as rigorous enough. And so while doing on this doctoral journey, learned more about what PhotoVoice is and how to utilize technology, not to be afraid of utilizing technology, such as this class, and really bringing my passion for collective leadership into the research that I'm doing. I'm also aware that, that yes, I am brilliant, I'm smart, I am worthy, right? But more minds are more powerful than just one. And so I've chosen PhotoVoice because of these reasons. And PhotoVoice to me allows you to work with your participants as co-investigators. And notice how I said work with as opposed to work for or to speak for, right? PhotoVoice requires the principal investigator to reach out, to bring people together, to create agentic spaces where your co-investigators feel and know that they have a voice. And so I really get the opportunity to work with folks. So let me tell you a little bit about my research and how I'm working with co-investigators through PhotoVoice. And hopefully that gives you a good idea of what you can expect from doing things with PhotoVoice. So for me, I'm passionate in my intersecting identities as a queer woman of color who also is a student affairs scholar practitioner. And so I'm really interested in how women of color student affairs administrators navigate oppressive working environments. And so the oppressive working environments that I'm looking at are Jesuit institutions. And that's for two reasons. Jesuit education has a social justice mission, which to me creates rich soil, if you will, that's dormant and needs to be cultivated. And if we can activate this rich soil, if you will, with a social justice mission and a commitment to supporting people and creating just and humane worlds, we can actually create strong pipelines for women of color who work at Jesuit institutions, and perhaps women of color who hold these distinct intersecting identities have the ability to really be in senior level positions and manage complex issues, retain staff of color, retain students of color, provide support, but also structure for organizations within higher education to be successful. And so my research really is trying to get at how women of color are currently doing this. It's not that we don't do it already, but how about I actually work with women of color who are making this happen day in and day out. So I'm using PhotoVoice as a way to work with women of color student affairs administrators, and I've recruited 13 women of color who work at different Jesuit institutions, altogether about 4 different institutions. And they are helping, working with me to define what systems of support are and how they are utilized when navigating these predominantly white spaces at Jesuit institutions. So we use PhotoVoice as a way to capture pictures that help folks articulate their understanding of systems of support and utilizing them as women of color. And then how does that affect their ability to navigate, right? So PhotoVoice, each of these participants are collecting 3 photos over a span of 30 days. So that's about one submission each week for a month. So there's 4 submissions, and they submit them on Sakai, and they take a photo and they write about 3 to 5 sentences that curates that photo, kind of detailing why they chose this image and what is it articulating. And then after that, I've created focus groups where we can come together, and they will actually meet some of the other co-investigators, so small groups of 3 to 4, and they actually get to present on what they found, what they went into the field to collect, right? So in a sense, I'm collecting data as the principal investigator, but they are also collecting data. So for this month, for example, I would explain, yeah, I'm collecting data, but also my co-investigators are in the field as well, gathering data, and I can't wait for us to come together and actually showcase what we've found. And in those focus group meetings, which we're doing over Zoom, they will each kind of talk about what they found. And when people aren't presenting and just observing, one of the presenters, they are observers and taking observation notes. And so I also have my participants submitting observation notes. So the data that I've collected now runs deep, because I have photos, curated photos. I have also observation notes from each co-investigator, kind of speaking to what they learned and observed from their peer co-investigators. Lastly, they get to reflect on their experience, and all of this is data that I then use to code and kind of create this story, right? Create this story of how we've come together, and also name a definition that we have put forth. So nothing that I've done on my own, but something that we have all done together. Another thing that I love about PhotoVoice is that I am as well a participant in this process. So I've also collected photos each week and pushed myself as well to do these things. And so the positives, I think, is just, 1, being affirmed and knowing that I'm not alone in my experience as a woman of color student affairs administrator. 2, collaborating with other powerful women of color who are making it happen day in and day out. And then 3, getting the opportunity to showcase what we all found together. And through that, I will continue to grow this work and create retreat spaces and invite some of these folks to help me in co-authoring other pieces of work. And so PhotoVoice gives you the opportunity to not just only create, but create just for the sake of creating, but you're creating space for others' voice to be projected. And also through this, helping women of color see themselves as researchers the way that I didn't at first see myself. And so it's just, I think PhotoVoice to me has become a way of my journey of exploring what it means to be a scholar practitioner, but then also opening the door for others to come behind me. And so I hope that you all enjoy doing this type of work. And if you have questions, you can email me at pgardner@luc.edu, which is PGARDNER@luc.edu. I'm a doctoral candidate and would love to invite you all to come to my dissertation defense, hopefully at the end of February, where you can ask questions and learn more about the PhotoVoice experience. Again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to email me or reach out, and look forward to seeing all the amazing work you do with this class with Dr. Aurora Chang. Talk to y'all later. Bye.